Congresswoman Martha Roby visits Troy campus. Find out more.
Plus, Troy students show off their cooking talent. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for October 12, 2012. I'm Deatra Montgomery.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. On Thursday, Freshman Forum held their annual Excellence in Leadership Conference. This year's theme was Climbing to New Heights. Rachel Scarborough has the story.
As a position or function of a leader, and Troy University's Freshman Forum taught that and more at this year's Leadership Conference.
And it really shows you basically what Troy is all about, and I really think that Troy prides itself on building leaders here.
Freshman Forum directors say that this conference is all about building leadership skills, but they also want Troy University to be on the forefront of these students' minds.
We're definitely trying to promote, building the future leaders of tomorrow. And then just the one good thing about this conference is that they're high school seniors and they're at Troy University, and we're just trying to promote that Trojan pride.
The guest speaker this year was Congresswoman Martha Roby. She says that when you look back upon your life, you can point out people who were leaders that helped you make the right decisions.
So I think having people that are willing to avail themselves to young people is very important in encouraging and bringing up new leadership.
One Freshman Forum member says that he hopes these students will be back next year as freshmen of Troy University.
To one day be in the same position that I am, being proud to be a Trojan, being in love completely with the school, with all the organization that it provides.
The day was not just about learning, there was some fun involved.
Our group was, we got them talkative. We started with some games and got to introduce themselves, and they seemed like they had a good time.
Rachel Scarborough, Troy TrojanVision News.
Over 150 students attended the conference.
Drinking and driving is an action that is not only illegal but potentially deadly. Yesterday, one organization let students have a little fun while learning about the serious effects of drunk driving. Christina Cook has a story.
In an effort to raise awareness about drunk driving, Gamma gave students a first-hand opportunity to experience what it feels like to drive under the influence by putting them behind the wheel.
As you see behind me, we have a drunk driving simulator to show you how hard it is to actually drink and drive, and why, and show you the dangers of drinking and driving and different things that might come of it if you decide to make this fateful decision.
This activity served as an eye-opener for individuals that may have been under the impression that driving while under the influence of alcohol is an easy task.
It often shows them that a lot of them will tell them it's really fake, but actually if you think about it, it shows them that it's a lot more complicated to drink and drive than you might think.
And as some students say, their driving skills were challenged as they tried to operate the vehicle.
I noticed that it was very different driving through the simulator when I was drunk compared to when I drive normally when I'm not.
It was nothing like I expected. Okay. Like you move just to get in the lane and you start swerving and then you start losing control once you start moving.
I felt like I had no control over what was happening to the car, which is kind of scary.
Christina Cook, Troy TrojanVision News.
Yesterday's event was a part of Gamma's National Alcohol Awareness Week activities. The University of Activities Council offers Troy students various entertainment options every week.
That's right, Deatra, and this week VUAC offered students the opportunity to show off their cooking skills. Troy's University Activities Council held the Culinary Event So You Think You Can Cook, where students were able to show off their cooking, baking, and creativity skills.
The students came with their meals already prepared. We had different categories from appetizers, entree, dessert.
13 contestants presented a variety of dishes from baked goods, international cuisine, and traditional recipes to a panel of judges, and were critiqued in different categories based on their cooking skills.
We have 3 judges. They each get to taste it. They have their little score sheet, so they're able to critique the food.
The judges critique on presentation, creativity, and taste.
6 contestants were named winners during So You Think You Can Cook. The students said that it was nice to win, but they were happy to be able to have fun and meet new people.
I thought it was really interesting because a lot of the international students brought dishes that they made, and they were very good with lots of flavor.
You need to be involved in college. You don't have this opportunity forever, so get out there, treat yourself. It doesn't matter if you win, it's just fun, getting together, meeting other people.
I got to see some different cultures here today and just meet some people I probably wouldn't have met, anywhere else if I wouldn't have done this.
The next UAC event will be Oktoberfest on October 24th at 7 p.m. on the Barnes & Noble deck.
And now taking that look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, Alabama health officials say 10 health care centers in Alabama received sterile injectable products from New England Compounding Center. But none of them were contaminated products recalled because of a fungal meningitis outbreak. The outbreak has claimed 14 lives.
And in Andalusia, there are new charges in a South Alabama town where a 91-year-old mayor pled guilty to stealing $201,000 from taxpayers. A man who lived with former River Falls Mayor Mary Ellen Hickson has been indicted on charges of taking city money. 47-year-old Richard Moss is charged with multiple counts of theft.
And in Mobile, the University of South Alabama says a campus police officer was carrying pepper spray and a baton the night he shot and killed an unarmed freshman student. A university spokesman said today the officer was carrying all 3 weapons when he walked outside the police station to confront 18-year-old Gil Collar, who was naked when he banged on police department windows.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, Romney and President Obama are back on the campaign trail after the vice presidential debate. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Plus, the Trojan football team played host to Western Kentucky last night in a midweek conference matchup. Danielle Percival will have more on the game and sports.
The Trojans lost a key player just before halftime Thursday night. I'm Danielle Percival. I'll have that story coming up in sports.
You can't text and pay attention to the world around you, and you definitely can't text and drive. Every year, deaths due to distracted and negligent driving are increasing. In fact, while drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving fatalities have skyrocketed. Find out more at negligentdriving.com.
Our Troy program is one of the largest in Troy University. So whether students take classes in Tennessee or in South Korea or Japan or Vietnam, there is no difference in quality.
Get your degree on your terms with eTroy online degree programs. Flexible, accredited, respected across the globe. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Dr. Lee, Troy University College of Education, and I choose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Deatra Montgomery at the Global News Desk. Deatra.
Thanks, Bailey. Vice President Joe Biden and Congressman Paul Ryan headed back to the campaign trail Friday after their one and only debate. Both campaigns are hoping to seize the momentum, even as the debate stirred new questions about the deadly attack on the U.S. consul in Libya. Danielle Nottingham has the latest from the White House.
A day after a spirited vice presidential debate.
With all due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.
Watch out, middle class. The tax bill is coming to you.
Both candidates headed back to the campaign trail. Paul Ryan stopped for breakfast with his family before teaming up with Mitt Romney in Ohio. Romney used an earlier Virginia rally to praise his running mate's debate performance.
There was one person on stage last night who was thoughtful and respectful, steady and poised.
The White House had high praise for Vice President Biden's performance, but faced new questions Friday about Biden's debate comments on the deadly attack in Benghazi, Libya.
We weren't told they wanted more security again.
Former security officials testified this week that they had asked for more manpower.
He's doubling down on denial, and we need to understand exactly what happened.
White House officials defended the vice president.
Matters of security personnel are appropriately discussed and decided upon at the State Department by those responsible for it.
Libya is among the issues that both presidential candidates are expected to discuss in their town hall-style debate Tuesday. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
Pharmacists in Britain are warning that many people struggling with insomnia are using over-the-counter sleeping medication without seeing the doctor. Monica Villamizar reports from London.
Sheila Fitzpatrick has struggled to get a good night's sleep for 15 years. She used to take over-the-counter sleeping pills every night, but found they made her anxious, and her insomnia got worse.
I was in despair, really, having taken pills and knowing I shouldn't be putting chemicals in my body.
The Royal Pharmaceutical Society of England found that 1/3 of people in Britain are taking sleeping pills for more than a month without asking a doctor.
If it lasts for longer than a month, for the majority of those cases, there's possibly an underlying medical condition.
Depression, prescription medications, and some medical conditions can all affect your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. Experts say sleeping pills are safe for people with short-term insomnia caused by overnight shifts or jet lag.
To go to bed
Sleep expert Guy Meadows says it's not what you do that solves insomnia, but what you learn not to do. At the sleep school in London, Meadows teaches insomniacs to let go of what he calls props.
So you think, I know, I will start using the TV to help me fall asleep. Or I'll start listening to the radio to fall asleep. Or I'll start taking this medication, this sleeping pill to get me to sleep.
Limiting caffeine and alcohol and using relaxation techniques can also help. Sheila Fitzpatrick no longer relies on pills. She says an online sleeping course has helped her switch off her mind and get a good night's rest. Monica Villamizar, CBS News, London.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. See more stories from across the country and around the world, such as where the Space Shuttle Endeavour will be going for its next mission. You can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after Nightly News. Now, back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Deatra. And now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So, Danielle, big game last night for the football team, but we didn't really have the outcome that we had hoped for.
Well, that's right, Bailey. It was a big conference game, still looking for that first win at home. But the big story coming out of last night's game wasn't that the Trojans lost, it was who the Trojans lost. So let's get into that. The Trojans hadn't played in over a week and a half, which is plenty of time to prepare for Western Kentucky, right? Unfortunately, though, there are some things you can't prepare for. Out to a 10-0 lead early, but the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky battled back to take the game 31-26.
I knew it would be a physical battle, as it turned out to be, and they got the best of us.
With less than a minute to go before halftime, quarterback Corey Robinson was knocked out of the game. Robinson does appear to be all right, however, he is being observed for concussion-like symptoms.
He's at the hospital, and I took him to the emergency room. I think Chuck's going to try to get him to keep him and observe him overnight at least, and then go from there. He was knocked out, though, so either he got hit in somewhere that made him lose consciousness.
While Blakeney was able to see and hear from trainers what happened, players didn't have as clear a picture of the situation.
I honestly thought he was going to get back up. Of course, he's a tough guy, I seen him get hit a couple times, and he just popped right back up. But when I just saw him just laying there, I was just like, uh-oh, And you can kind of tell the team kind of go down a little bit.
I didn't see the hit, but I didn't think it was that serious. So I thought he was going to come back at halftime and be just fine. But when everybody started saying he wasn't coming back, he was done, the whole team just got behind me, and they was motivating me to finish the game and try to get out there and make plays for us to win.
Anthony has seen snaps throughout the season, so he knows the offense pretty well. He not only has some experience, but also the full support of the team.
Deion came in and played real good, He just made us came out and just keep fighting.
You got to stand behind whatever we have and whoever we have out there, so whatever we did. I don't think it's going to be like any downside to Deion playing quarterback. Because Deion a good athlete, he can run, throw, so he can get it done too.
We got a good guy in Deion right behind him. It's really not much separating them guys. They both work as hard, together. They push each other through practice. And he's a really good player, so we just have to keep moving forward and see able to come back. We're glad to have him, but we also have Deion to back him up.
And we just got word from the Sports Information Director Adam Prendergast's Twitter that Corey Robinson has been released from the hospital and is going to be evaluated on a day-to-day basis. While the main story of the game was the quarterback situation, there are still some key plays to highlight. You've seen it once already, Corey Robinson's only touchdown pass of the night, and what a beauty it was. Nice little over-the-shoulder grab by Reeves. You can't do it any better than that. Robinson was 6 of 11 for 106 yards, and Reeves finished with 3 receptions for 110 yards and the score. And here's one you don't see often. Will Scott lined up for the 18-yard field goal, but it's a fake. Jaquan Robinson with the pitch to DJ Taylor, who kicks it in gear, and just like that, it's 17-7 Trojans. Moving on to the fourth quarter and the Trojans' final touchdown. Just watch. Dion Anthony, 47 yards to Eric Thomas. I see you, Eric. Looking at it again. It's going to be Anthony showing off the arm strength. And the defender goes for the pick. And now you see why the tip drill is important. And of course, who even needs a celebration after a play like that? And by the way, yeah, that one was on SportsCenter's Top 10. Came in at number 7. The Trojans have another open Saturday, but will be back in action next week at home against FIU, still looking to win their first home game of the season. The soccer team will be traveling north this weekend to take on a pair of the top teams in the Sun Belt. The Trojans are coming off their first conference victory against UALR, but do have a tough task ahead this weekend. Tonight at 7, Troy will take on Middle Tennessee in Murfreesboro, and the Blue Raiders sit atop the Sun Belt Conference. They've won 6 straight games and are undefeated in conference play. Troy is 1-7-1 all-time against MTSU and lost last year 3-0. The competition doesn't get any easier on Sunday, facing Western Kentucky, who is ranked 3rd in the conference. Head coach Chris Bentley knows this weekend will be a tough test for his team.
Both need to compete, a full 90 minutes. It's a great learning experience for us as we move forward with a young team, and I don't see why we can't go out and compete and do the best we can and come out with a couple good results.
Troy will have the chance to knock off the top team in the conference tonight. The Trojans and Blue Raiders will meet on the pitch at 7 tonight. And one of 2 teams in action at home this weekend is the volleyball team. They'll be looking to improve on one of the best starts in school history. Tonight, the Trojans will be taking on the Mean Green of North Texas. Both teams entered the match with a 4-2 conference record and a win over Middle Tennessee State. The Trojans are coming in off of a 1-1 weekend with a loss to Arkansas State, but a victory over one of the top teams in the conference, UALR. This is the first of a 3-game homestand for the Trojans, who will also be in action Saturday night against Louisiana Monroe. Both tonight and tomorrow night's games begin at 7 o'clock in Sartain Hall, and admission is free. And the other team in action at home this weekend is the Trojan cross-country team, who will play host to the 2012 Coach O Invitational Saturday morning. This is the Trojans' final meet before the Sun Belt Conference Championships in Bowling Green, Kentucky next weekend. The meet will feature 6 teams: Alabama State, Albany State, Birmingham Southern, Chipola, Huntington, and Troy. The race on their home course should give the Trojans a good warm-up for the conference meet.
Excited to have another home meet this season. It's kind of how we close out our regular season. It's really symbolic to us being back at home at the beginning of the season. That's how we open our season up, and that's how we also close our regular season. So now we're having one last tune-up before we get ready to head to conference in 2 weeks.
The men's 8K race will begin at 10 a.m. with the women's 5K race following at 10:45 and will take place on what remains of the old Trojan Oaks golf course. So while there's no football this weekend, there's still Trojan sports in action here at home. We've got the volleyball team in action tonight at 7 o'clock and tomorrow night again, and then cross country tomorrow. So there's still Trojan sports in town. So if you're in town, be sure to come out and support the teams. Not very often that you get to go to a cross country meet, so hey, it's a new opportunity.
Absolutely, Danielle. Definitely encourage everyone to go out this weekend and support our Trojans.
That's right. Best of luck to all of them.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks.
Coming up on TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll learn about a new program that is encouraging young people to get more involved with the political process.
But first, it seems like the temperatures have been warming up for the past few days. What can we expect for the weekend, Jamarlo?
Well, Bailey, for the weekend, we should be experiencing warm and cool temperatures, but as we go into next week, that may change. But I have that and more coming up next in weather.
We all share a common journey. We wanted to serve our country, stand for something bigger than ourselves, and protect the things we love. Although we were ready to face any mission, help those in need, and make a difference, for some of us, coming home was more of a challenge than we expected. In the service, we had each other's backs. But as veterans, it can sometimes feel like we're all alone, even when surrounded by our loved ones.
At the Veterans Crisis Line, we understand what you're going through, and we can help. It's your call.
From the high-definition studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Jamarla Phillips joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Jamarlo, for the past few days, at least this week, we've been experiencing some higher temperatures than last week. Will they continue to get higher or will they decrease?
Well, we should be expecting warmer temperatures in the next few days, but as we go into next week, that may be subject to change, but I'll get into more of that right now. But first, let's take a look at our current conditions. Looking at our skies right now, we're experiencing very sunny skies, temperature coming in at 85 degrees. Very warm temperatures right now here in Troy. Dew point at 61, humidity at 44%, barometer reading 30.2 inches. It's going steady with our winds coming from the north at about 5 miles per hour. Going in today's stats, today we're able to see a high of 85 degrees, a low of 60. There was no rain in our forecast for today. Sun rose this morning at 6:43 a.m. and it's supposed to set this evening around 6:19 p.m. Take a look at our temperatures from around the state. As we can see, we are experiencing those mid 80 degree temperatures. We can see Mobile sitting right here, partly cloudy skies at 83 degrees. We can see Huntsville coming in at 68 degrees, being the lowest in Alabama right now, with that chance of showers as well. Going into Birmingham, sitting at 79 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Montgomery 84, Troy 85, Phoenix City 83 degrees, and Dothan 85 as well. Going into our current temperatures across the southeast, as we can see in our area, we're still experiencing those very warm temperatures, low to mid 80 degree temperatures. Going to the west, we can see that the west, they are experiencing the same temperatures we are experiencing in our areas, those mid 80 degree temperatures, 85 in Shreveport, 87 in Houston, Corpus Christi down here at 90 degrees, and 83 in Jackson, Mississippi. Taking a look at temperatures across the United States, as we can see temperatures above Alabama, they're experiencing, in the Tennessee area, they're experiencing those lower 60 degree temperatures, but as we move northward, they're moving, those temperatures are decreased about 10 degrees, 50 up here in Michigan, 47 and 53 degrees. Very cool in those areas north of us. Going into our current surface map, we can see that we have a few low pressure systems across the United States right now. A stationary front that's comes down right in the central part of America, going across Texas right here, and we can see a cold front as well above Alabama and the Mississippi area with a high pressure system sitting down in our area. But as we take a closer look at our current surface map in our area, we can see that this high pressure system is sitting right here, almost close near our area. The few gusts of winds down here in the Gulf of Mexico, nothing it's going in our area. Looking for our thunderstorm forecast for tonight, we can see that we will not be experiencing any thunderstorms for tonight or any type of activity. But as we take a look at the areas above Birmingham, they will be experiencing maybe a few thunderstorms for tonight. Nothing severe. Going into our precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, we can see that our area will be clear. But again, looking at those areas above Birmingham, they will be experiencing maybe under an inch of rain. Going into Saturday's forecast, we can see that our area will be clear for the weekend, but as we take a look in the middle portion of the United States, they will be experiencing very severe thunderstorms with heavy rain as well, and also a few wind systems, a few windy conditions as well. Going into Sunday's forecast, our area will remain clear. We can see that the west of Alabama will be experiencing very light showers, nothing too severe. Mississippi will be experiencing showers as well as Louisiana. They will be experiencing very heavy showers as well. Going into Monday's forecast, our area we will be experiencing rain going into next week, maybe under an inch of rain. So do be on the lookout for that. So if you are heading to class on Monday, make sure that you carry with you an umbrella or maybe even just a light jacket. Going into Tuesday's forecast, our area will remain clear, and going to Wednesday, that rain will have pushed out of our area. So for the next week, going into Wednesday and on to the next few days, our area should remain clear. Going into our tonight's forecast, mostly clear with patchy fog after midnight, calm winds coming from the north-northeast at about 3 miles per hour with a low of 60 degrees. Going into tomorrow's forecast, we'll be seeing mainly sunny skies, winds coming from the east about 8 miles per hour with a high of 85 degrees. Going into our 4-day forecast, as we look into Saturday and Sunday, we'll be seeing mostly sunny skies, but as we take a look at Monday, we'll see those chances of isolated thunderstorms. And going into Tuesday, again, we'll see those sunny skies again with warm temperatures. So Deatra, Bailey, for the rest of the week. Going into next week, we'll see those warmer temperatures. They will stay in our area for this weekend, and like I said before, going into the next week.
Okay, thank you, Jamarla.
All right, thank you.